And John Carpenter is a guy who's not afraid. And number one, I'm going to preface this
No.
by saying, I know he's said this before. This is not exactly completely new news. He's already said this. He's already said it's the ultimate slasher. But here he says it's brilliant. It's the ultimate slasher. He's like, there's nothing more. He said there's nothing more than this one, man. Wow. That tells me right there that John Carpenter, who has no fucking qualms with coming out and being like, this shit sucks. I did it for a paycheck. You
Yeah.
pay me.
Shit.
Entertainment Weekly interviewed John Carpenter. Amazing man. A man who doesn't give a fuck to tell you what the fuck he thinks. He'll shoot you straight.
I like it.
He's a straight shooter. But they asked him, the thing I found that nobody's talking about that I found pretty interesting, they said, are you finished with scoring Halloween Kills? And Carpenter said, we're done with that. Unfortunately, we can't score the next one, Halloween Ends, because everything's on shutdown. Hopefully, things will get better next year. What does that say?
Well, that means that they scored a really awesome soundtrack for Halloween Kills, but Halloween Ends is just kind of fucked right now. It's in the wind. It's floating around. Rose is holding on to dear old Jack, but the motherfucker might sink like bricks. I think that that's like pretty much what we're talking about right now. And you know, John Carpenter, everything's shut down. So production on Halloween Ends, it's kind of scary. I'm not saying that he revealed anything that's not, you know, that's going to get anybody in trouble or anything like that, or gave us any kind of inside scoop. But it's interesting the wording of that specifically, that everything is shut down. That makes you wonder, are they going to, because Halloween Kills comes out this year, according to Jason Blum, you know, Hell or High Water, it's coming out in October. Fuck the man. And it's going to come out, and that's it. So it makes you wonder if Halloween Ends is going to be pushed back, you know, not indefinitely, but at least for a couple of years, or like maybe a year and a half, 2 years. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm worried about. I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm just saying it's kind of, you know.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I think, and this is what happened when, which I'll be completely honest, when the pandemic started, and it was way back in the early summer, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I have some great memories. As horrible as everything was, I just want to say I have some great memories because of you guys of that time, because everything was scary. Everything was shutting down for the first time. And we started doing live streams for the first time. And we just started having a goddamn blast with you people in the middle of this pandemic. As scary as everything was, it was a nice place to go and shoot the shit and let it out. And that was a wild fucking summer, buddy. That was a wild summer that we lived through.
It was a sexual adventure for all of us.
That was a wild, and once again, the Wham family came through, man. And you guys just made it something completely different. And those couple hours we spent with you guys every night or a couple nights a week was really special. But let me say this: when that came out, originally I said, "No way, this shit will be handled. We'll be all right by October." I was wrong. They delayed Halloween Kills. But what I will say is this, and I said this then, the smart idea about delaying Halloween Kills a year was that they knew they had to film Halloween Ends. So by delaying Halloween Kills, a movie that you already had shot and you had it in the can, you could push it out a whole year, and that gave you a whole year of space to work with Halloween Ends. Whereas had they released Halloween Kills last October, we would have been right back to square one. It would have been a rush. We got to film it on time. We got to put it out on time. It could have changed the movie. It could have changed everything. Now where we're at is Halloween Kills is done. It's coming out this year, and they have a lot of extra time to film Halloween Ends. So what it sounds like is, I don't know when they're filming Halloween Ends. Maybe they already started with some stuff. I know Christopher Nelson's in Australia doing a movie right now, so yeah. I don't guess
he's doing Lord of the Rings Part 8. So don't worry about that.
I don't guess he's working on it right now. But whatever they did there by pushing out Halloween Kills, as bad as it sucked, it did give them a whole year to work on Halloween Ends. So I think if you look at the vaccine, and you look at, they say that apparently as of things stand now, everybody should be able to get vaccinated by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
You know, the first Halloween movie it didn't take that long to film at all. I don't remember the exact amount, but it didn't take that long. So maybe they wait
like 4 to 6 months.
whatever it was, maybe they wait and they go, okay, once we get past that vaccination checkpoint, then we can film it and we don't have to deal with all the regulations and all the shit.
Yeah.
And then they film it and they could bang it out in a couple months and they film it. And then maybe Halloween Ends comes out on time in October 2022, which is the perfect thing. And I think if you were to ask me if I was a betting man, I would bet that now that we delayed Halloween Kills, we're going to get these movies 1 year after it in succession. But the cool news is that they're done scoring Halloween Kills. I can't wait to hear that fucking score. And they made that. That also means that they made new shit for it. We're not going to go back to the same shit. As good as, oh my god, the shape hunts Allison. Oh shit,
That was some good shit.
that's some of the best shit John Carpenter's ever done, son.
I think that the problem is that a recent interview with some scientists and doctors actually talking about the vaccinations is that the only way that it actually can be effective is if everybody agrees to get one. The more people that have the vaccination will, and by the middle of summer, they think that it'll be readily available to adults to take the vaccination. But, a recent poll has indicated that not a lot of people want to get the vaccination because they don't trust it. And I'm not going to say I agree or disagree, but whatever. The point being is that also movie studios have pointed out the fact that they are nervous about releasing any movies, except, by the way, toward the middle of the summer and into the fall, which is devastating to the movie theaters, by the way. This is basically a death knell for the movie theaters. What I think will happen with Halloween Ends is Halloween Ends will come out. I don't think it's going to be next year. I think it'll be pushed back an entire year. I think that what's going to happen with Halloween Ends is it will come out for sure. They're going to tell the trilogy story. I just don't think that they're going to look. The reason why Jason Blum is like, whatever happens, it's releasing in October because they wanted to have it in October no matter what. But even if movie theaters aren't at full strength, they're going to release it. Now, whether or not they got to, bend down and suck the devil's dick and got to release it on streaming and theaters, they're going to do what they got to do.
Yeah.
And they're going to lick that taint. And I think they're going to wind up doing that. Blumhouse is not stupid. They spent a lot of time and money in this project. They want the movie seen, especially in the month of October. So it's going to be released in October. I do feel that it's going to be released simultaneously in theaters and on stream. They're not going to be proud people and say, no, only theaters. It's not going to happen because they also understand they're not going to take the risk of people being like, I'm not going to go see it in the theaters and they're not going to make any money. Yeah. If they only release it exclusively in the theaters, and look, by the time that movie comes out, things have changed dramatically. I mean, if you look at the movie theaters and the way that things have happened, and especially the virus and so on and so forth, we're not the same culture anymore. I mean, it's just a reality. You got to face it. You got to wake up and smell the roses at some point. We're not going to go back to what we were like it's just not going to happen. So what they're going to have to do, these movie studios, are adapt and feel those changes and move forward. And I think that Blumhouse is smart enough to do that. And John Carpenter, I think in this interview specifically, is alluding to that by saying that everything is shut down. Yeah, Halloween Kills is coming out. It's done. Like after that, he doesn't fucking know. Yeah. And he can't score the movie because he doesn't know when they're fucking shooting it. Yeah. So I mean, that tells you a lot of that's a lot of information, by the way. And I did notice somebody in the chat said he plays fucking Assassin's Creed, the Viking one, and he's a Viking. I was like, yeah, that's cool as shit. I think that's awesome. But
he's a great dude who loves his basketball and he loves his video games, and he's a fucking rock star and a movie director, which is pretty goddamn great. But he does go on to say as well. He says, they said, can you tease Halloween Kills for us? Smart move. Smart move of them to ask that. And he says, it's brilliant. It's the ultimate slasher. I mean, there's nothing more than this one. Wow. I know. I love that. That's strong words. That's like fucking goddamn Evander Holyfield coming down after your first boxing match. Like, you got some skill, kid. After you knocked out that asshole in 2 rounds, you're like, God damn, I feel like I'm on cloud 9 right now. I feel good. Yeah. We talked to Christopher Nelson. He had also mentioned that he thought the movie was amazing. And then you hear from John Carpenter himself talking about how amazing this film. And why would he give a shit if it was a bad movie? He wouldn't publicize himself. He doesn't need to. I mean, he doesn't need to float his own fucking tune. He could just be like, yeah, it's a job or whatever. The fact that he says that's fucking amazing, dude.
again, I don't think Halloween Kills is going to be on another level. Like, and I can't wait to fucking watch it.
You fucking said it, dude. And I've said this on this channel several times. I am putting whatever my name means on the line. And it probably means about as much as a 6-pack of Bubblicious. But
Or Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba. Just me being a person who watches movies and pays attention to the movie news and lives in the movie world, and noticing beats and noticing how people respond to certain things. I think Halloween Kills is going to be fucking amazing. And I think it is going to fucking blow ass. And I mean that in a good way. It's going to blow ass in the best of fucking ways. Because everything that you get that comes out about this movie,
I don't know how that's good.
No, I don't know either. But
I don't
mean
either.
It in a good way. Take it in a good way. I mean, blow ass in the greatest of ways. But man, John Carpenter is a guy who's not afraid. And number one, I'm going to preface this by saying, I know he's said this before. This is not exactly completely new news. He's already said this. He's already said it's the ultimate slasher. But here he says it's brilliant. It's the ultimate slasher. He's like, there's nothing more. He said there's nothing more than this one, man. Wow. That tells me right there that John Carpenter, who has no fucking qualms with coming out and being like, this shit sucks. I did it for a paycheck. Fuck you. Pay me. You know, he's the dude quitting his job at half bag, like, fuck you. You're cool. I'm out. That's John Carpenter. He didn't give a fuck. And he's not only just like, okay, you're going to say, oh, he's getting paid on this one, so he's going to say whatever. Fine. But it would be so easy to say, I think it's a solid film. I think people are going to enjoy it. People love Halloween, and the people who love Halloween are going to love this, or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's unusual for John Carpenter, who says shit how it is, to come out and be like, "This is the ultimate slasher. Holy fuck! Hold on to your nuts, squeeze them real tight, and then go to the fucking store and get a fucking 6-pack and some popcorn, because this movie's going to blow your fucking mind." And he said that. He went on a limb when he didn't have to say that. Dude, Halloween Kills is going to fucking rip, dude.
I agree. I think that John Carpenter, like, he pretty much told Rob Zombie, I don't give a fuck what you do as long as I get that fucking bread money that I can line my pants pockets with. Like, yeah, if it was a bad movie, John Carpenter doesn't care. He would come right out of the fucking on the podium and tell you that it's a bad movie, or not maybe in so many words, because, you know, lawyers and shit. But he would definitely allude to the fact that you're not going to really enjoy this, much like Mark Hamill did, and he warned all of us in the Last Jedi how much of a goddamn turd that fucking was. Yeah. So yes, it's really exciting that John Carpenter digs it, and I you know what? Honestly, reading that article and just, you know, knowing something about John Carpenter, especially hardcore fans, he doesn't need to suck ass on any kind of studio or director to have clout. He'll just say whatever the fuck he wants to say and get away with it, because he's done, man. He's 72 years old or 74 years old. He's done his time. He's given us great movies. He doesn't have to fucking say anything.
What are you gonna do on October 31st?
What are you gonna do on October 31st?
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover. Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you want to know about the darkness?
I said, God damn. God damn you, Michael. I said, God damn.
A lot of people don't know the darkness that goes inside their hearts.
I said, God damn. God damn you, Michael.
What are you gonna do on October 31st?